Hey, good evening, beautiful souls. We are on a um, Tuesday, and I think it's about 8:45, maybe in the evening. Just getting off work. Took a little bit of a bite to eat. Probably won't be long. I'll be hitting the sack, going to bed. I have been going through a lot of things lately. Separation. Um, Getting another place to live. And that's a root beer or cream soda, by the way. It's not a beer. I don't drink beer. I don't even know how it is right there. I don't drink. It's a cream soda. I'm not much on sodas, but I like cream sodas. But anyway, I've had a lot going on. Work is busy. I'm having to live my life and separating, moving, relocating, starting over pretty much. This has been a thing in my life. I mean, for as long as I can remember, this has been my life. Always a drifter. Even when I was a child, I was always just. I went. I was carried with the wind. I was always a free spirit. Um, Endured lots and lots of heartache, pain, and misery, physical and mental. My whole life. Wow. It just seemed like it just followed me. You know what I mean? Like, very strange. Now that I look back. Now, I'm not sad about it. I mean, when I think about it, it doesn't bother me. But it's molded me to be who I am today. It's made me who I am today. All that heartache, it didn't make me harder. You know what I mean? I grew up in a church. Thank God I was introduced to God very young, at a very young age. And Jesus growing in the religion that I went in. But on the other hand, I was taught that you can't trust humans. You can't turn to them for love and support. I learned this at a very young age. Um, the ones that you're supposed to turn to for love and support and protection, um, they're not the ones that are there. They're not there. There is nobody. Those are the ones that are you want to stay away from. The ones that are abusing you, the ones that are being cruel to you and showing you pain, misery. It's always the ones that have love that goes along with it. Parents, siblings, relationships, you know, everything that's got love involved with it. Um, it's those people that have always showed the pain and the misery. And when you have that scenario going on in your life, when you can't trust the ones you're supposed to trust, you can't trust anybody else. You can't turn to anybody else. Excuse me. You can't turn to anybody else. The only person or the only thing you can turn to is God. Um, it's like God has been the only one that hasn't showed, some sort of pain or sadness. You know, it's like people, they get depressed, and typically they're depressed because of a person, right? And it's always the one that's close to them or was close to them. So through time, um, I grew further and further away from man. Excuse me, and turned to God. If you go in one direction, and if you're an empath or an empathetic soul, you're not going to go to the devil's side, right? You go to the God side. right? Man over here, God over here. Well, actually, God over here and man over here. Excuse me. And you stop listening to man. Why listen to man? Why put your faith and trust in a man? This is part of the reason why I was so unruly growing up. Always getting in trouble. Couldn't rely on a man. I didn't believe men. I thought they were all liars. I always thought they were just full of crap. I hear them talking, but they're not really saying a whole lot. I've always been connected to God for as long as I can remember, and I've always been very intuitive. My sixth sense has always been enlightened or heightened. Excuse me. And I was wild, man. God had been trying to get my attention. And then I went into a downward spiral. Like that clogged up drain. All that buildup. And it just finally went down. And once it hit bottom, the last straw dealing with a human, I went through a transformation. I started reading the Bible. I started to understand it. Started to pray. I got into meditation, and I didn't know what I was doing. I look back and I don't even remember how I even found it, how I ran into meditation, how it even entered into my life. Honestly. Excuse me. And I look back and I don't remember. I've had so much happen to me through this journey that it's all, I see it, but the only thing it was God. I've always relied on God. I've always listened to God. And when I went into my practices, my spiritual practices, I can't say a religion because it wasn't part of a religion. I went the opposite direction of a man. Religion is man, right? That's an organization. Religion, that's not. You know what I'm saying? That's not God. It's more man-based. Now, of course, it's based on God, but it's by man. What was I saying? I started to hear God speak. I could hear that whisper, and I started to realize that I was hearing God speaking to me. So I started to meditate, and God was showing me the way. He was teaching me the whole time. I wasn't turning to a man, just to God. It was so easy. The transformation from man to God was so easy. I knew the devil's voice. He had made himself very clear to me at a very young age. I recognized his voice at a very young age, and I knew how to ignore it. He still makes himself known to me. He's still not leaving me alone. I still hear him. I still feel him. He's got a hold of me, but I'm resisting. I'm running from the rebuking, and he shall flee in the name of Jesus. And I just fell into meditation. I just wanted to find peace. That's all I wanted to do, was just find peace. I didn't know anything about Buddhism or Hinduism, chakras and kundalinis, and I didn't know anything about any of that stuff. Auras. Even before I went into my spiritual awakening, my spiral, I started to see things. Somebody awoken these things in me, and the individual that destroyed me. When I met that person, that's when I started to see my gifts come out. That it was like that person triggered those gifts to come out. So wild. Wow. I can remember sitting down at work, relaxing, waiting for a job, and I would see these tracers go by, and I get goosebumps like crazy, like just out of nowhere, just goosebumps, and these flashing lights would flash by me. I started to see them with people. I started to see people behind me, or feel. I could feel them behind me. Like I would look back and they would be 10 feet behind me, but they was like coming up on me. It was like a shadow behind me. I started to notice that. People around me were noticing it. Intuition. I started to meditate even before I got into my spiritual journey. I don't know how. God directed me. And I remember meditating once, and I saw this. I don't even know what it was. It was a stone. I don't even know what kind of stone it was, but it was narrow at the top, and it went down like this. It went down like this, and it was like a turquoise color, and it just appeared in my vision. I have no idea what that was. I've tried to find it. It's there. It's somewhere. It's going to find itself in my life. I saw it. What a wild journey. What a wild journey it's been. So I started to meditate, and I could feel things going on in my body. Didn't know what was going on. My body was heating up. I was getting this information just flowing in, knowledge that I had no idea that I knew. God directed me to books to read in the Bible that just so happened to go along with what was happening in my life, in my journey, and where I was. Job, Ezekiel, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Daniel. All these books he directed me to read. And it, just like these numbers that I see, that whatever stage I'm in, whatever numbers I'm seeing, I've always seen 144. I've always seen 144. Even as a child, I was seeing that number. That's always been my number. God implanted it at me in a very young age. 444s, 222s, 333s, and I hear people talk about these numbers and how they could be symbolic with what's the signs. I don't even know the name of it. I can't even think of it, but supposedly demonic. And I don't know. The devil can't read your thoughts. Only God can read your thoughts. And if I'm coming across a number, 1111, let's say, and I read it, and it was literally like it read my mind. That's not the devil. The devil don't know what I'm thinking. The enemy don't know what I'm thinking. He can feel what I'm thinking, but he can't think. He can't hear it. He can go by my actions and my emotions, my frequencies. He can definitely pick up on that, but he don't know what I'm thinking. And to read something that word for whatever's in my head or what was going on in my life, that's God. I believe some of those messages, and I have run across some of those messages that were not of God. So you do have to be careful in that world past the veil. The enemy's out there as well. And yeah, it's been just being directed. I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. Just being directed by God. That's all I've done, is just be directed by God. Once you start to recognize his voice, it flows in you. It's like a DNA pattern. It just flows in with you. His voice just all around. It enters your being. And now you're walking like he tells you to walk, and you're talking like he tells you to talk. You're living a life the way he says you should live it. He's directing your life. You're hearing him now. He's leading your life. You've given it to God. You fully give it to God. You've been born again. And you become such peace, such love. He's creating a being, the perfect being in you, just like he is. And of course, you'll never be perfect. I've been on this journey 6 years, maybe, 2019, 21, 22, 24, 25, 6 years, going on 7 years. Wow. Matter of fact, I think this month or next month will be 7 years. Anyway, I haven't been on this journey that long. I've dedicated myself to God. I didn't veer off and live the life of the world, because I never was toward the world. I never went the way of the world. So there's nothing for me to go there. It's all God. I'm just evolving more and more spiritually, the way he wants me to. And he knows I'm human. He knows I'm a sinner. I'm not perfect. When I pray and I ask for forgiveness, I feel that forgiveness. I feel it. I feel it. Sometimes I'm so sad because I feel like I disappoint him. And that's conviction. That's your forgiveness. God knows you're going to fall short. Nobody's perfect. Only God. But we are meant to be perfect like him. Take control. Take control of yourself. Take control of your mind. Grab a hold of it and shake it up. Stop. I don't want to hear it. I'm tired of hearing you. You're making me depressed. You're making me sad. You're making me angry. You're making me fearful. This is what that is. That's where that lies. Inside there is fear, complaining, gossiping, lying, thievery, murder. Out here, God, love, peace, kindness, right outside of that. So, some stuff going on in life. I've hit a reset now, getting back into meditation. I'm feeling, since disconnecting from certain energies, you know what I'm saying? Because we battle, you know what I'm saying? It's that we battle energy all the time. Our loving nature battles It's like a mix of energy, and we don't realize that we're battling, and that battling is exhausting. And I wouldn't say we don't realize. I think in some cases we do realize, and we stop it. We have to end it. This is for the peace. God comes first. He'll come first before anybody or anything. Always, before my son, before my wife, before everyone. God comes first. I am in a relationship with Jesus Christ, God Almighty, the ruler of the universe, right? That's the relationship I'm in. I'll never, ever, if anything comes between that, I'm not going to have it. Only God comes first. But I've got back into meditation. I can tell, I can feel a difference in myself. This is going to be a good thing for me. I'm going through another spiritual awakening, another level, I guess, another level of sensitivity, I guess. Today was a rough day. It's a very familiar feeling, the awakening. It's regenerating. It's like you're sick. You're drained. It's your body's finally, you've been so jacked up for so long that your body's just so tense. And it's not healthy for you. If you're chosen or on a spiritual path, it's not healthy for you. And when you separate from it, it's just like, man, you know what I'm saying? It's like all that weight's gone, and it just takes you every bit of energy out of you, because you've been like the whole time fighting, and then now, and it's all hitting you, the bottom now, and work your way up. And I've been here before. I know I've been here probably a few times. You go through multiple spiritual awakenings, and this is another one. And I just have to go by God and what He says. He'll lead me through. All right, well, here we are, another chapter. And I'm excited. I'm excited for this new journey that I'm going to be on, and for whoever's going to be part of it. This is going to be a good journey. It's going to be a really good journey. I'm looking forward to it, and it's starting out on a good foot. So, till next time, I love you guys. Godspeed.